Dear friends, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be diving into another machine on the Vulnhub, which is KB-Vuln 3. The link will be put in the description section below so that you can download and play on your own. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. So now let's get started. In this video, I'm going to show you how to perform directory enumeration with the application which requires authentication. Okay, so now we can head over to Kali Linux to begin with. First of all, we need to discover the IP address of the target machine. The utility I'd like to use, as always, would be netdiscover. All right, as you can see over here, the IP address of the target machine could be recognized as 246. So what shall we do next? We need to perform port and save scanning with a map. To save time of this video, I've already completed before. So now we can get out its result. Let's scroll up a bit. So as you can see over here, I took the options. Sorry about this alarm. I took the options like scene scan, the default script scan, the virtual scan, and full range port scan. The last option of all is ON to output the result into this file. From the map scanning results, we can tell that the target has 1, 2, 3, 4 open ports in total. Now let's take a look at them one by one. The first one is 22, which is running SSH service and also the virtual information, including virtual number. Anyway, I don't think we can find any workable vulnerability for this particular version. Let's move on. The second one is 80, which is running HTTP service and also the virtual information Apache 2. And the last two are used by Samba service, as we know. So what shall we do next? Where shall we start with? We should enumerate Samba service first, just I mentioned over and over. So how to enumerate Samba service? The first command or utility I'd like to run is smbclient with uppercase L followed by the IP address of the target machine. Okay, provide the password of my own machine. And besides normal shell, we find this shell. So now we can access this shell with the same command. Files. Okay, so now we are in. We can run ls command and we can get down this zip file, and then we can exit from the Samba. Next, we need to unzip this file. But this file is protected by password. We can use fcrack zip, or alternatively we can use the John Ripper to crack it. So in this video, I'm going to use the latter one. But to use John Ripper, we need to convert this zip file to hash value. Okay, so how to do? We can use zip to John and website hashes. Okay, so now we can use John Ripper to crack it because my machine has cached password. So now to retrieve cached password, we can use show option hashes. Press. Now we can get to know the password is this one. We can copy and we can unzip this. We can specify the directory or destination website, and we can supply the passphrase or password. It's done. Now we can go inside this directory, and we can have a look at this README textual file. Here we find, this should be possible username, okay? And we can get the combination of username and password. They look like some sort of web application credentials. Okay, so now and also we find this one. This should be possible domain name. So far we have already got so many important discoveries. Okay, so now let's move on. And the second utility I'd like to run when we enumerate Samba surface, which is enum for Linux. Press enter. Usually I will take this command or utility to retrieve usernames from the target machine. If the target has Samba service running, and I think we have already got this username. Great. Now we can copy, and even just now we have already got this username already. Now let's go ahead with a web application. We need to emulate it both manually and automatically. Let's put the IP address of the target machine into the address bar. We got 404 code, but we need to check its source code. A lot of code, but nothing very useful. Next, we can check to see whether this side has robots file or not. Not found. Now let me bring up the terminal window to launch Nicto to perform automatic enumeration. And in the meantime, I'd like to specify the command or with Gobuster to perform directory enumeration. And I use the W option to specify the word list. Okay, directory and extension option. Press enter to see what we can get. Let's go back to the Nicto, but in this case Nicto didn't give us important information from the point of penetration. Okay, now let's have a look at the output of Gobuster. Similarly, Gobuster cannot find anything. Okay, so how to do? Just now from when we did Samba surface enumeration, we have already found the domain name, this one. So it means we need to append this domain name to host file. How to do? We can echo the IP address of the target machine, and we can copy the domain name, paste over here, then pipe operator sudo t and append hosts. Okay, press enter. Now we can access the target machine by domain name rather than IP address to see what different content we can get. We can press enter. Now we got something different. So this is the site magic CMS. We can copy and just now we have already found the username and password. So I think without any difficulty we can try to use these credentials to log in to the CMS. Okay, so now we can click on the top, we can click login button, and the username is admin, and password we can copy from here. Very simple password, and login. It's successful. So now what are we going to do next? We need to find a location where allow us to upload web shell. Okay, so like admin and content. Even here we can find the files. So here I think we find this upload button easily. And next I'd like to, I think I've already got this PHP reverse shell file. Okay, so now we can set up the listener on the Kali Linux, waiting for collection from the target machine. Let's go back to the browser and click upload, and we can select the shell.php, and the file uploaded. We can close up this small window. So here, I think we can click and get the shell. In case sometimes we need to find its location, how to do? I think we can make directory enumeration. But you know, this application requires authentication. So we need to specify the cookie to for us, to enumerate the directory successfully as before or as usual. So how to do? Let me go back to the terminal window. We can use Gobuster, and if you use H option, you can get all options of the Gobuster under the subcommand dir or directory. And here we can use the -c to specify the cookie. So now we know how to do or how to specify Gobuster to perform directory enumeration. So Gobuster directory, and we can copy the URL from the browser and the word list, text, back, and also we need to specify the cookie. So where to find such cookie? We can right click your mouse and go to inspect, and then navigate to storage tab, and then here you can find the cookie key value. We can copy. This should be the key name, and we can use I think we can use a single quote to wrap the cookie key pair equals, and the value is this one. We can copy and paste over here. Now we can hit enter. Now, so as before, the Gobuster can find directories as usual, and also of course a lot of files, and so the cookie maybe I'd like to remove the extension option. And then you can find the directory like files. So now you can make a deeper enumeration. Files. And you can find, the more or deeper subdirectories. So now we can go to the images. Here, images should be a directory, and also I'd like to put here. I'd like to put extension option. backgrounds. So just now I show you how to specify cookie with Gobuster command to perform direct enumeration for the application which requires authentication. Okay, but in this machine, it's not necessary at all. Actually, we just click this file. Yeah, as you can see, we have already got back the collection from the target machine. And we can spawn interactive shell by Python. Python 2 is available. Then we can utilize pty module and its method spawn bash. And also I'd like to define term variable xterm. Then we can clear screen whenever to get bigger space on the window. Now we can go to home directory, and there is one normal user. We have already know that. We can copy and we can grab the user flag without a problem. Next, I'm going to gather more information to try to elevate privilege. Okay, so the var backups, nothing here. So how about www directory, HTML directory, go to site magic, and also I'd like to run find this command is trying to find command which has SUID bit. Okay, let's see what this one has SUID bit. So it means that we can exploit this binary to elevate privilege directly. How to do it? We can go to the website of GTFOBins and systemctl SUID. So now we can, how to do? We can command, we just follow the instructions. Paste, and then we can run. Oh, this one should be, sorry. I think we can copy and echo. All right, then install and this one. Okay, now we can bin systemctl, paste in here. No such a file. Interesting. Maybe I'd like to play around or within the temp directory. So sorry about this. We need to do it again. But this will not take long time. And copy and install and last line. So the systemctl. Okay, no such file. Oh, there is problem with this way. I need to fix it out. All right, I think we need to take a different approach. So how to do? I think we can create the shell surface locally, and I'd like to copy from here to here. Okay, and I'd like to change the command. I want to replace this with reverse shell command. So the bash, so we can which bash, so we can bin bash, and we can get reverse shell command from reverse shell command. We can get reverse shell command from pentest monkey website, and here replace IP address with our canonics IP address, and we can use any available port number, single code, we can copy, copy from here. Okay, so that's it. So now we can write and quit. Next, I'd like to upload this file to target machine. We can use wget and shell surface. Okay, so now I'd like to, HTML, go to site magic. I'd like to move this shell.surface to the root directory of website. Okay, now we can use, I think we can use systemctl link var HTML site magic shell surface. Okay, now we can ctl start shell. Maybe we need to set up the listener on the canonics, waiting for the second collection. Great, as you can see, we successfully got the second collection, which belongs to root user. Then we can navigate to root directory to grab the final flag. So I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to see you next. Bye. Have a nice day, please.